Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Bev Bellman, Bionic Bev, coming to you again. Um, it has been 2 weeks since my ankle replacement surgery, my prophecy in bone total ankle replacement surgery. That was the last time I left a video here while I was waving as I was scooting by on my scooter. Now I'm on that scooter full time at this point. I am wrapped up. I will show you a little bit uh, what I look like. So that's my foot for right now. Um, that will be changing soon. I go back for my 2 week doctor checkup here in 2 days on Thursdays. Plan on getting that cast off. Probably be put in a boot, I would imagine. I will still be non-weight bearing for at least 4 more weeks. But, it's going great. It's going great. I'm really excited about this. Now, let me kind of explain where I've been the last 2 weeks. I know I haven't been on here, and I plan to be more consistent. So, again, Bionic Bev, I'm working towards it. It's a process. It's a journey. It's not a goal. It's not a destination. It's how I'm gonna live here. So these last 2 weeks, let me go through what kind of happened. The first week was pretty crazy, very low key. Stayed in my bed most of the time. Had to keep my foot elevated. They said toes above the nose, and they are not kidding. It's not just the heart; it's above the nose. So it was like the higher my foot was, the less blood rushing to it, the better it kind of felt. But let me tell you what, when I sat on the side of that bed to stand up or to get on my knee scooter and go somewhere and move, that blood rush to that ankle, I had to breathe through it. It was like, it was this. I mean, and I had to sit there for a minute and just breathe through that pain because it was incredible. Um, Other than that, really, even, like now, so now that has not too bad. I still feel the blood rush when I put my leg down, but it's not gripping. Um, if I leave it down for too long, I can get a few minutes or whatever, but I can't sit with it down for very long. So it's up most of the time. Ice. Ice is a big thing. I've been off of pain meds, the prescription pain meds, for about a week now already. Tylenol when needed. CBD oil. I have found a good CBD oil that takes that edge off. The product I use uses the entire product, the seed, stem, leaf, and not just one particular part of it. So if you need information on that, please comment below, and I'd be happy to share that with you. Also, if you have any other suggestions for anti-inflammatory, because that's when pain comes from inflammation. Um, Again, I'm not a doctor or a nurse practitioner. I'm not a physical therapist. I'm just someone that has been through several operations and surgeries the last 5 years, all affecting my mobility, and I have learned a lot. So inflammation is the big cause for pain, and my whole goal every day, all day, is to keep the inflammation down. So ice, Tylenol is what I use for kind of little pain, and I try not to use too much of that. That's just as needed kind of basis. CBD oil twice a day, keeping it in my system. I also have a carrier oil that I take with that, and it's just drops, sublingual on my tongue. I also have an amazing CoQ10 that I take sublingual. Again, I found taking a bunch of handfuls of pills and vitamins and whatnot, they just go right through me. So I have looked and found some alternative ways to get get my vitamins, my supplements, things like that in my system, patch, sublingual. I would take a couple capsules, but not a whole lot. Food wise, I keep the carbs low. My carbs, I try to get. Now, the first week I wasn't too concerned about that. I was more concerned about making sure I had something in my stomach when I was taking the pain meds, things like that, and what was convenient for my daughters that were helping me. Now we're really kind of watching the carbs, sugars. Man, it's almost like immediately. I always thought it was the sodium, or I always thought it was a salt that made my ankle swell, and it was the sodium level, in the processed foods, which is really the carbs and the sugars. MSG, stuff like that. The cleaner you eat, the better that is. You know what I mean? The fresher you eat, the less processed, the better that inflammation is. And that's not just for an ankle or an injury. That's for any joint. If you have pain, is generally caused by inflammation in your joints. So something to think about. Again, a good glucosamine that is absorbed into your system. If you're taking 5 or 6 pills a day and it's just going right through you, you're wasting your money. So find a good one. I found a great one that I love. And again, it's sublingual. It's a packet that's absorbed through your mouth. I do not have one here, but I will show you on a later video. Turmeric. I use turmeric a lot when I get a little bit more mobile. I know that you can make your own turmeric capsules, and I plan on doing that. So taking turmeric, CoQ10, and white willow bark. White willow bark is a natural anti-inflammatory. I have found a way to get that through a patch, a DFT that I put on. Ice is key. Ice at elevation is big for my ankle. So I wanted to touch a little bit on that because even if you're dealing with, just general aches, body aches or pains or whatever, think about what you're putting in your system. Our bodies are amazing, and it's incredible what our bodies can heal on its own if we're given the right product, given the right nutrition, But think of it this way. If you have a cut and you keep it dirty, it gets infected and festers and gets worse. But if you have a cut and it starts to heal itself automatically, and if you keep it clean, it heals quickly without a whole lot of issue. Same thing on the inside. So I'm just kind of, putting that on the inside as well as for the outside thing. Some things I have found, the first several surgeries I had these last couple of years, when they told me I was going to be non-weight bearing and to sit down, that's what I did. I sat here and watched TV and gained a bunch of weight. Weight's always been an issue for me anyway. And I worked in a food service industry where cooking and putting stuff in your mouth, frying foods all the time was an issue. But the first several surgeries I sat here and I ate and I did nothing. And I tell you what, when I stood up to walk, that use it or lose it thing became very real to me. So this time around, that's not the game I'm playing. The first week I did not do a whole lot. I was laying in my bed mainly. I did some stretches, some arm, shoulder stretches. I had a friend of mine, Dr. Greg Judice. I went to him for a while. He's a physical therapist, and he was giving me some shoulder issues because I knew my upper body was going to have to move me around much. And I took a pole or this is my selfie stick, but kind of stretch my shoulders back just to keep my shoulders engaged and stretched, and just different angles that I can do that in was extremely helpful. And I do that throughout the day, just to keep everything up and back and stretched, because it's easy to just kind of clump in and jello out. I don't want to do that. I also use resistance bands. So in my recliner here, let's see if they're still here. Yeah, here's one. I have resistance bands. My resistant band, and I got it kind of tucked in around my cushion here. And nothing too crazy. I'm just trying to get some movement. I'm just trying to stay mobile. So let me get this in here. All right. So I can take these while I am sitting here watching, whatever thing I'm going to watch today. I try not to watch too much TV. Spend most of my time trying to learn and staying engaged and whatnot in other parts of my life, serve safe and with my personal business and stuff. But when I am just sitting here, whatever, because, I sit a lot, I try to just do, some resistant bands. Light weights. I got 1.5 pound weights right now. So if I recline all the way back, I'll take 2 of these and just get some, upper body movement. I'm not trying to lift weights. I'm not trying to build muscle tissue. I'm trying to stay engaged at this point. I'm trying to keep blood flow going and keep my body moving. Even as far as my feet, my legs or whatever, I'll press my heels out and stretch. My cast has gotten pretty big on me now. That tells me the inflammation thing is working. But so I've got some movement in my cast now, and he told me, if you can move it as much as you can, move it. So I'll even do that with my heel on my left foot. I kind of push my heel into my cast and let that stretch go up the back of my leg. And when I'm laying in bed, I try to do like the figure four and, you know, kind of stretch my hips out and my back out. I've got a girlfriend of mine coming on Friday. She's a yoga instructor, and she's going to show me some moves I can do on the bed to, again, now that I'll be, as I continue to get further mobile and healing, I want to keep that stretch going, because when they tell me I can stand up and partially walk, I want my muscles to not scream at me so badly. So that's where I'm at. You know, I encourage everybody to do this. If you sit at a job all day, that you sit behind a computer or you sit behind a desk, if you are somebody that is retired and you know, you've got joints that bother you or whatever, you know, keep moving. The more you move, the better you feel. That pain kind of starts going away. Really, really, really watch what you take in. You know, I mean, water, our bodies are made out of water. They need water. There's a reason why God gave us oceans and lakes of water and not soda or monster crappy drink. So just consider that to increase your water intake. It's just good for you, good to keep you flushed. You know, and I want to end this with positive attitude and mindset. You know, if it just makes you feel better to put a smile on your face and have a positive mindset. You are here for a reason. We all are. We're not here by mistake. We are here for a reason, for whatever that reason is, and for whatever that time frame is. But you weren't put here to sit here and be miserable and complain and live a limited, you know, limited life. So find a way to be happy. To me, it was all about gratitude. I did a gratitude journal. Actually, I followed a book called The Magic. It's a book following The Secret. But anyway, it takes you on a day-to-day step on how to be grateful, and kind of breaks it down instead of just be, oh, I'm so thankful that the weather's nice. I have to be thankful that the weather's nice, but I also have to acknowledge the people that might be suffering. Like right now, I'm in St. Louis. We got beautiful weather here today, but I know my friends on the East Coast are bracing for a Cat 4, Cat 5 massive hurricane. And I have to acknowledge that because of that, that's stalling out the weather front here for me to enjoy this weather while they're setting up for catastrophe. You know, so you have to realize we're all connected. We're all in this together. So gratitude journal is a great way to start your day. A little bit of meditation, prayer, you know, get your mind set in a positive way, and it really does change things around. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching my video. Again, please comment below. I ask that you please hit subscribe. Until I get 100 subscribers, I can't get my personal URL link to YouTube. So please subscribe to Beverly Bellman, Bionic Bev 2.0. We're going to rock this as I go through my journey to heal for mobility and beyond. So you all have a great day. Talk to you on the other side. Bye now.